Good morning, Vande Matram, welcome all of you. Here the topic of discussion will be for this morning, what thou willst. That is the topic of discussion for this great morning, what thou willst. I can quote one mother's message, Lord thou willst and I execute. So even Divine Mother is being guided by the principle. What she is actually keeping the principle before us. She is also being guided by that principle, and you will know what thou willst, and Lord, what thou willst, and that must be done. That must be carried out. Let thy will be done, not mine. That is the big expression by us, by the human being, by the followers, by the sadhakas. Anyway, we are going to have a brief discussion on this particular topic, what thou willst. One question was put to the mother, is it enough? Mother quotes. Her question was like this: Is it enough to let oneself to be filled? What that? Is there nothing else to do? That is what the question. To let oneself be filled with that. That is nothing. No more. Nothing else. Only the Lord's will. So, mother tries to explain, that is the one thing. That is the only thing I think. I am repeating always, what thou willst, what thou willst, what thou willst. Mother actually repeating the things again and again. What thou willst, what thou willst, and what thou willst. And not confined to only three times, thrice. It has been a recurring process, on and on and on. Let it be what thou willst. Let it be what thou willst. Only that is to be done. Let thy will be done, not mine. Thou, what thou willst, only that has to be done. There is no other goal, nothing more, nothing less. So, may I do what thou willst. Again, may I do what thou willst. May I be conscious of what thou willst. Again and again, same thing has been perpetually repeated. I don't know if we are able to understand the thing, how mother has been able to convince us, because we are not, I don't think we are matching the same consciousness as the mother, because when she was trying to write and tries to explain, that is a vaster consciousness. From that side, staying on that vaster consciousness, we have to think only the thing that will be carried out and that will be supported and that must be accomplished, that is thy will, nothing else. So mother quotes, what thou willst, what thou willst, what thou willst, again and again. It is a recurring process. Dot dot dot. Let it be what thou willst. May I do what thou willst. May I be the conscious of what thou willst. I will be conscious, and I will do what really thou hast willed. This type of submission is absolutely necessary. Without this, some simplicity. Simplicity is a great thing in the divine's work. It brings a beauty to the spiritual life. This much of simplicity, this much of beauty is absolutely required when we are going forward in the path of sadhana. And moreover, when we feel hours will be done, that is the obstacle. We are coming out of the track. So there is most of the time there are chances of failure, and for to avoid the failure, it is the best thing to be avoided by the divine will. Again, and without thee it is death, without death, with thee is the life. That is a great thing has been told by the mother. Equivalent message we have seen. With the divine, life is bliss. Without the divine, life is a painful illusion. So equivalent way, we can see the same thing mother has quoted. Without thee it is simply, it is death. If we are proceeding without thee, then it is death, and with thee it is no, it is it is really life. So initially we can quote the same thing. I will try to repeat it again. With the divine, life is bliss. Without the divine, life is a painful illusion. Same thing, it has been quoted by the mother here again. With thee it is life, without thee it is death. So my will, that is it has got absolutely no place, placial value, it has got nothing where it will stand, it does not exist at all. So by death it does not mean the physical death, mother puts. Death means immediately you are going, you are dying, and this cremation will take place. Not like this is not physical death. It may be so, it may be that now if I lost the contact I would be end. So not like this. Again, I can remember one message by mother. If somebody stops aspiring, he begins to die. Somebody stops aspiring, the next step is begin to die. Birth, growth, saturation, decay, death begins to die. And if another message is also there, when somebody feels satisfied, the next step is towards reward. There is no other progress, nothing. So try to better every day, try to better yourself, try to improve yourself. Not exactly the physical death, but it is like this. So it may be so. It may be now I lost is when I have lost the contact with the divine, it would be end. But it is impossible, I have the feeling that is it is impossible that I am that I am that, with all these obstructions that the present consciousness may still have. Many obscurity, many obstructions, many difficulties will be there before you, that's all. And then when I see someone, mother is showing, offering the person to the light like this. So when someone who he may be like that, that gesture, so though to the offer the person to the light. So that opening must be there, that consecration must be there, that surrender must be there, that willingness must be there, that aspiration must be there. That is what the requirement. Just the present requirement is like this, and moreover, most of the time you have seen that let thy will be done, let thy will be done, not mine. So these are the things we must see, we must realize that way. So mother quotes again, all the while it is amusing. Mother quotes, I have the feeling that I am a little baby with nestles. I am a little baby with nestles within, and the divine consciousness all embracing. So that feeling must be there, and that is the correct thing, and that is the major lifting point, major turning point of our life. Again we'll go to know about the divine will and all. It is a very interestingly mother has quoted on divine will. Most of the time we feel we try to express what is really the divine will, and how shall we know it is divine will or it is coming from the divine or common circumstance, very veritable circumstance where it is coming. Sri Aurobind is from Sri Aurobind. I am quoting the clue. How shall I know that this is divine will and it is not divine will? So, Mother Sri Aurobind quotes, when the mind is pure and psychic is prominent. Very interesting. It is not so simple as we are thinking. When the mind is pure and psychic prominent, then one can feel what is according to divine will and what is against it. Two things are two conditions. According to divine will or against the divine will. Not according to the divine will can be only known by two conditions. Only with the purity of mind and the prominency of psychic. Then what the divine wills is always for the best. Most of the time we claim Bhagavan jaha karanti pranira mangal pai. What the divine does, that is for the best of the humanity, best of the person or man. But thing is that we orally we speak up, we chant like anything. But the thing is that trust, that faith must be there. Mother quotes, steer in the course here. What the divine wills is always for the best. What divine wills, that is always for the best, even when the mind does not see how it is. Mind, it is very much confined, very much limited. Its thinking is very much actually confined resolutions. It can't know the entirety. That is the problem. It is within limits. It feels as if it is a giant. But thing is that beyond its limitation, beyond its boundaries, a lot of things are existing really. What the divine wills, that is for the best, that we must take care of. and does not, even if mind does not see really how it is. Again, we are going forward. Actually, what is that will? That is the great thing. Really, will, man's will, God's will, good will, divine will. So many ways in different times and different parts of our discussion we have gone for that only. And here also that will, steer into having one or two lines we'll try to quote again. The human will is a misled and wandering ray. So far here the human will. The human will, so far this human will is a concern. We are taking of this human will first. So this human will is a misled and wandering ray that has parted from the supreme puissance. Being parted, departed from the supreme puissance. Supreme puissance was there, and from there, this is distorted. This has been perverted, and it has been parted from the. This human will has been misled and wandering ray. It has been parted, misled, not led properly, misled, and wandering ray. And that has parted from the supreme puissance. And again, Sri Aurobindo is having a very nice observation. Nothing can prevail against the soul's entire will to reach the divine. It is the decision, it is the adventure of the soul, and it is the adventure of consciousness. That is to reach the divine. Divine is the goal, it has to go. And nothing can finally prevail against the soul's entire will. Now itself, because you may claim it. You may ask question why now itself it is standing as a barrier. Soul is actually now passive. It is taking in a stagnant position. It is not that much adventurous. What is the reason behind it? Because it has left mind, life, and the body. It has brought with him to do the divine work and to help in the progress and the development. It takes experience. But here it is something like stagnant, impassive. It is looking concealed, staying concealed. But when the soul's entire will, here in the course, entire will to reach the divine, when it is there, when this person is coming, then actually nothing can prevail against the soul's entire will. So that is what we know, we guess, and this is also a big way we are going forward. So again, we can go for the another thing what Sri Aurobindo really puts before us. That is very interesting. And here we can find there must be a self-opening to the divine power. Self-opening. You have to open the self-opening. Opening is the thing that happens by itself by sincerity of will and aspiration. Sincerity of will and aspiration, if this is are not there, sincerity of will and aspiration, if that is lagging, if it is not there, so naturally you can find that opening is not 100% probable, and that is there will be, you will face some problems. And again, Sri Aurobindo puts forward, but one thing, in another way Sri Aurobindo puts, even the worst obstacle in the end disappear before the will that never falters. Will that never falters. If that will is there, very much prominent in you, then the worst obstacles in the end shall disappear. That is what Sri Aurobindo has quoted. Will go bit, little bit against the divine will. Sri Aurobindo to quote few lines from the mother's writing: to will what the God wills, to will what the God wills. Because if human will could be made one with the God, if human force can be guided by the divine force, then he will be omnipotent, and he will be all knowing and omnipotent. So human will must, it is a departed from the supreme puissance. It has to be led by the supreme will. Mother course, the will, to will what the God wills, to will what God wills, that is the supreme secret. That is Mother course, it is the supreme secret. We don't know. That is what the problem. The Lord is always victorious. That idea, that concept, that truth must be inside us. The Lord is always victorious. It is in His own way, not in the human way. He is moving in His own way, not in the human way, according to His own will, not according to the will of man. So we can't put pressure, do it like this, because finally divine will prevail. He will do, he has to decide. The Lord is always present, and only we don't realize this. That is the problem. That is the very much lacuna. That is the problem with us. The Lord is very much prominent, present, but we don't realize. Then Mother quotes actually on 3rd August 1968: be quiet and offer yourself calmly and confidently. Be quiet and offer yourself calmly and confidently. All that happens is always the effect of Supreme's will, another will, Supreme's will. Whatever is being cause or effect, everything is running according to the Supreme will. Human actions can be occasion, but never the cause. It is only an occasion, but never the cause, And again, the only thing you have to do is to remain quiet, undisturbed, surely turn towards the divine. That is what you can do. Only from your part, the three things you can do. Number one is to remain silent. Number two, remain undisturbed, surely turn towards the divine. The rest is in his hands. Everything he will take care. But thing you must have, remain quiet, undisturbed, and slowly turn towards the divine. So again, mother course, the divine's will is that we should be like channels, always open, always more wide, so that his force may pour in abundance into the mood. So we must be open, we must be wide, we must be ready to prepare, we must be prepared to receive his force and light that is coming. For that, actually, not only in a limited way or in a very system, very channel wise way, we have to be very much wide and very much open. We must lie before the divine knowledge like the page perfectly blank. He will come and write. That is what perfectly blank page. That's what. So that the divine will may be inscribed in us without any difficulty or mixture. Without any difficulty or mixture, this divine will can be inscribed on that. For that, actually, we have to be on open page before the divine. And finally, to do at each moment the best we can and leave the result to the divine's decision. Leave to its omnipotence. Leave thy works result to its omnipotence, and all shall be done in the God's last figuring hour. You do the best way, leave the result to the divine's decision, is the surest way of peace, happiness, strength, progress, and the final perfection. These are the five things Mother putting. If you are leaving the result to the divine's hand, and he will do everything for you, and finally I will find this is the surest way of peace, second happiness, third strength, fourth progress, and the final perfection, number five. So these are the things we have to do. For that, actually, we know with different types of will, human will, divine will, supreme will, good will, many ways. Even we can find the negative wills are also there. That is, they are actually at each moment they are dragging us like anything. But the thing is that we must know that the purity of mind and the prominency of psyche, they are most important, so that we can be able to feel and know that it is divine, and with that we can be guided, we can be moved, we can be judged. That is what the requirement. And one thing it is sure, Lord, let thy will be done, not mine, and what thou hast willed, that must be fulfilled. I am here like the instrument. That is what the great admittance from you, that opening must be come from you. That is the best thing. Here or there, today or tomorrow, the result is bound to come. There is no other way go. So if you can be an instrument in carrying out the divine will, then finally God's work will be simpler. Even if we are not sincere, that sincerity is a must. That is the surest path in the divine work. That is the most essential part. That is a great beauty in the spiritual track, without which we can't move really. So we have to be sincerely carry out the divine will. For that we must be ready. That is the requirement. Bande Matra.